Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Right now we're taking a look at two very colorful shrimp that I have in my shrimp tank. This one is a orange rilly shrimp, and his friend back here is a blue pearl shrimp. Both of them are from the Neocardina variety. This tank has mostly orange rilly shrimp. I set it up as a breeding tank for the orange rilly shrimp, but after a few months, even though everybody was healthy, I never seemed to get any breeding. I didn't get any kind of eggs, I didn't get any kind of babies. I was starting to wonder why, and then I noticed over time that I think every single one of these orange rilly shrimps are female, and I think that that was my downfall in the breeding project. Like I said, these shrimp are all very healthy. I haven't, as far as I know, I have lost very few of them. And I've had them for a few months now. But the saddles on their back are pretty strong indicators that they are female. If anybody happens to be able to spot a male shrimp in this tank, it would be great if you could let me know in the comments. In my opinion, and for anybody trying to set up a shrimp tank at home and is looking for tank mates, I think that the very best thing you could put into a shrimp tank is a snail. Snails are... They're gentle, they're friendly, they aren't going to hurt any shrimp, not even any fry. And on top of that, they really complement the cleaning abilities of the shrimp. I keep Nerite and Trumpet Snails as well, but these Mystery Snails are by far the coolest ones in the tank in my opinion. This is my blue Mystery Snail, and this video is not sped up, not this part, and it kind of blows my mind how fast that they move around the tank. When you think of snails, like, you think of their movement being like almost imperceptible. These guys, they really cruise around the tank. You can see them eating the algae off of the glass. You can see their mouths open and close. They're really, if you are a fan of just sitting back and watching your aquarium, these things are awesome to have in there. They'll definitely keep you entertained. The blue Mystery Snail has a bright blue shell and a black underbelly. I think he has a very cool look. And then this bright yellow guy is also a Mystery Snail. He's called a gold Mystery Snail with obviously a gold shell, and then he has a white underbody. They are obviously both really awesome. I couldn't make up my mind which one I wanted at the pet store, so that's how I ended up with both. And I am actually really glad I got both because they're, they actually interact with each other a lot. They're always climbing on each other. It's cool to see snails have actual interesting behaviors. You don't particularly think of snails having interesting behaviors, but these Mystery Snails, they might change your mind. I do want to give you one note of caution because I have lost Mystery Snails this way in the past. Betta fish are obviously an animal that I think everybody struggles to find tank mates with. It's always very tempting to want to put a tank mate in with just a single animal, but I would not recommend putting Mystery Snails in with a betta fish. When I tried it, the betta relentlessly attacked the Mystery Snail, picking at his antennas, and eventually the snail died. So I do not recommend putting him in there with a betta fish. In fact, just don't put anything with a betta fish. The only thing I've ever actually have work with a betta fish was an African dwarf frog. That actually did work out pretty well. And that was actually in the same 10-gallon tank a long time ago. Shrimp, however, aren't going to bother your Mystery Snail at all. They'll leave them be, they'll get along fine, you'll see them kind of crawling on the snails will not mind, they'll mind their own business. Actually, I think the snails end up looking better when they're in a tank with shrimp because the shrimp will clean the algae off their shell and the shell will stay that nice bright color, while if there aren't any shrimp in the tank, you might have algae eventually growing on the shell and it just won't look as bright. That happened to a couple Mystery Snails that I kept in my community tank. Another nice thing about keeping them together is that they both eat the same food. I feed them algae pellets that I pick up at my local pet store. Just like shrimp, you want to make sure that you directly feed them. You shouldn't just rely on them eating the extra algae in the tank. They will do that, but they need to be directly fed too. I'll usually feed this tank a couple of algae pellets every few days, about twice a week. And sometimes I'll stick the algae pellets to the side of the wall just to give the shrimp a chance to get to it first, because like I showed you before, those snails are actually pretty quick. and they will hog those algae pellets if given the chance. So they get along with shrimp great, they have similar requirements, they require similar care, not to mention the fact that they are quickly going to become your favorite thing in the tank. These guys are so cool to watch. So that's why, in my opinion, mystery snails are by far the best shrimp tank mates. Whether you agree or disagree, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Thanks for watching.